a panoramic yet intimate view of small towns across the United States, based on the best-selling book, Our Towns, a 100,000-mile journey into the heart of America, by journalists James and Deborah Follows. James and Deborah took what they knew from their journey in China for 5 years they spent, traveling their cities and their towns and learning about their people and their culture. They took that, brought it back to the U.S., and used the same tactics, and that's what they did in the U.S., hence Our Towns. I have to admit, I first felt a bit of a hypocrite when I first watched the trailer on this, because I thought, you guys, this is not super fear-mongering and stuff. This looks like it's all positive and happy. It's going to be boring. I don't know if I even want to watch it. Yet, after an hour of watching this documentary, I noticed I was not on guard. I didn't feel defensive. I didn't feel all fear-mongering, like, uh-oh, the world's coming to an end. I feel dark and depressed. I felt hopeful. You see, a lot of times the media or other documentaries love to focus on the negative, without solution. This one did not do that. Now, of course, the documentarians have their motives. Everyone has their motives. But I felt like their motives was, there's a side that's not talked about. Here's a solution to the things that are talked about that are happening in these small towns. This is what these towns are doing to change that. There is hope. Things are going to change. Don't be mistaken, guys. They show some hardships, but it's not super negative. It's not super like, oh no, there's nothing can be done. This is all negative, no solution. They definitely show some things that people go hard times that they go through or they're going through. But they interview people and leaders that are doing things to make a change. There's a very hopeful feel to it. In fact, there's a part in the documentary that reminds me. It's a part where they're showing some of the artists and how the artists are making symbols or art that represents hope or excitement. This one artist in this one small town built this archway that's like this, and then there's a gap between the two. And he explains, in his words, he says, this represents how dreams go up, and there's a gap. There's a point where you have to have a leap of faith that your dream will work or continue, and that's what that represents. That made me think of how here on this channel, we want to work on building better lives. Part of building a better life, obviously, is building dreams. Dreams take a long time. When I build my dreams, or when I'm building my dreams, there's times, for example, on this channel, there's a lot of times you just have to take a leap of faith. You don't know where it's going to come or how it's going to turn out or what it's even going to look like when you work on it. You just do what you think you need to do next, and at some point you might find you need to change something. You might get some feedback like, the shirt you're wearing doesn't match the dress hat that you have, for example. That might have been some feedback that I heard a little while ago, so I changed to this. And you got to keep going forward. And it's the process that you get into. You have to enjoy the process. Because at some point you'll get to the goal, but it may not even be the goal that you once thought it was. Because these things that you'll take long term take so much time, and they become a life of their own, that you have to have faith that things are going to work. You have to have faith in the process of taking the steps and then analyzing and redoing things and trying again. And so I thought this is a very good example in the small towns about changing things that are negative. You have to have faith that they're going to work, and you have to act like they're going to work and take those steps and adjust accordingly. And that's what I took from this one. In summary, I feel kind of restored about humanity after watching this one. So if you want to feel that, watch this documentary. It does make you feel a little bit more hopeful about, humanity. Because some documentaries you're like, oh my gosh, it's such a negative thing. There's no positives. It's all negative. Now, I did read that there are some critics that see this documentary use rose-colored glasses. That's true. I can definitely see that that's true. But how come that's any more or less valid or valid than the ones that show only negative colored glasses, whatever that would be? Negative victim view glasses, I guess, maybe, or something? No positives, no empowering, no what can be done solution, just fearmonger. I feel like that's half the story, and this is the other half of the story. And I personally would rather focus on solution. Yeah, find the problem, but focus on solution to solve it. And that's why I really enjoyed this documentary. And that's why I felt inspired and hopeful after watching it and wanting to go out and do things and help things and be inspired and be a positive influence in life. So that's why I'm giving Our Towns, a 2021 documentary, a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10.
Yeah, boy.